In this video, we will discuss how to untangle some key linguistic terms. We will learn to understand the difference between phonology and phonetics. We'll discuss phonemes and their allophones, and we will tie up all of our terms so that when we unpack human sound, we know how to hear it, record it, and analyze it. In this section, we will learn the difference between phonology and phonetics. As one professor has put it, phonetics is what we hear with our ear, and phonology is what we hear with our brain. Let's break it down. When we examine phonetics, we're actually looking at human speech sounds, whether or not they're voiceless or voiced, where the place of articulation exists, and the manner that that articulation takes place. We are examining it in terms of the sound created, regardless of the language, and we are examining the physiology and the acoustic perceptions of those speech sounds. And we break it down to its smallest unit of language, which is the phoneme. When we're first learning about phonetics, we primarily focus on the physiology of phonetics because that tells us how the sound is created, where in the mouth, what do we do with the air. And so that whole umbrella area of study is called articulatory phonetics. And we really focus on that in the beginning, and particularly with new language learners, because we can instruct an individual to shape or do things with their mouth or lips or tongue or the air to make the sound. So that's articulatory phonetics. There are two other areas of study within phonetics. The acoustic phonetics, which deals with the physical properties of speech as a sound wave in the air, and then how that sound is perceived via the ear is known as auditory phonetics. Let's just take a quick look at some of the examples of articulatory phonetics that might be foreign to you. Most American children learn their alphabet in kindergarten, if not before then. As you can see in this slide, the International Phonetic Alphabet indicates the sound that is made, as opposed to using English letters to represent the alphabet. You can see at the beginning that the sound that A makes is transcribed in what appears to be an E and a capital I. This is an example of how orthography of English differs from the phonetic representation of sound. If we were reading this slide, we could begin in the upper left-hand corner and read it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's stop there. That D, larger 3 symbol, indicates a J sound, like you might hear in the word rouge or judge. And the I, following the D3 symbol, indicates an E sound. So together, they form phonetically the sound G. Then H. Let's break that one down. We have that E, capital I, again, And then we have what appears to be a T with a schwa symbol, that elongated S. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Do you hear the ch when you say H? Well, two phonetic symbols, the E, I, and the T with the schwa, that makes the A, ch, H sound. That is how you would phonetically record or transcribe the sound that is made when you say the American letter H. We can go on. Let's go down towards the end of the alphabet. Let's take a look at U, V, W, X, Y, Z. You can see that a J has that Y sound, so that it is present in both the U and the double U. And even though there is a phonetic X on the IPA, how we would transcribe the sound X using the IPA would be with this backwards 3, K, and S. So the International Phonetic Alphabet allows us to transcribe sounds regardless of the language. We could use the same phonetic elements to describe a language that we aren't even familiar with speaking or hearing, because of the consistency of the phonetic alphabet. Let's take a look at phonology, which is the study of the mental organization of a language's sound system. There are generally 3 units of organization within phonology, and they go from largest to smallest. The largest is the syllable, which can be measured in metrical feet. The middle-sized unit is a segment comprised of phonemes and allophones. And the smallest unit in a language's sound system consists of its specific features. Remember that phonology is concerned with the abstract and is a subset of phonetics. There are literally hundreds of possible speech sounds. Each specific language only uses a few of the available sounds. And what is of interest to phonologists is which sounds contrast. Sounds contrast when their presence alone distinguishes forms with different meanings. The different meanings are referred to as phonemes. Allophones are a closely related set of speech sounds, or phones, but notably the meaning is not changed with each new allophone. Whereas if you change out a phoneme, the actual meaning of the word is altered. A phoneme is the abstract unit or sound type and is marked by slash, while the allophone is marked with brackets and denotes what was actually spoken and gives clearer detail about the manner in which it was spoken. Let's look at some examples. When I want to call my son, I might holler out Joseph. I might holler out Joseph. I might congratulate him softly and say, Joseph. The name Joseph is the same in each of the pronunciations. And whether or not I emphasize Joseph, Joseph, that S sound in his name can be described as an allophone because I may pronounce it with a greater emphasis in Z or S. But the meaning of the word does not change. Therefore, they are allophones. However, elsewhere in English, the S and Z sounds can result in minimal pairs, as in the words sip or zip. If I change out the S for a Z sound, then it changes the meaning of the word. Therefore, S and Z are distinct phonemes. An essential property of a phoneme is that it must serve in a contrastive functionality. The M sound of map and N sound of nap, though similar in that they have a nasal quality and are both voiced sounds, they are contrastive because when interchanged, they result in a difference in the meaning of the word produced. Let's take a look at the differences between phonetics and phonology one last time. Phonetics is the study of speech sounds. It belongs to the study of descriptive linguistics and concerns itself with the production, transmission, and reception of sound. It does not study just one particular language. However, phonology is the study of speech sounds used in a particular language. It belongs more in a theoretical linguistic category and studies the different patterns of sounds in various and differing languages. It's specific to an individual language. Let's look at these images here. Phonetics would be concerned with all the possible ingredients to make all the possible words within a particular language, or in this case, genre of food. It tells us what we can and can't combine, while we have the ingredients to make a particular made-up dish, like the lower right-hand corner depicts. It doesn't mean that we do that in American cuisine. It just means we have the possibility, thanks to all the phonetics available to us.